Hey guys, we are standing out in front of the barn. It is middle of February.
It's not too bad out actually today.
Yeah, it's not above zero, but it is maybe -2, -3 Celsius. It's not
Something
bad.
like that, yeah.
Anyways, I mean,
Nice for February.
Yeah, exactly. And we've decided we're going to do our farm goals for the first half of the 2021 farming season year.
Spring through sort of midsummer.
Yeah.
We're going to break it up because usually by the end of it, it changes by the end of the
Yeah.
year. So
it's always good to reevaluate this list halfway through and kind of get a reality check too, really.
so let's go and
So we're going to take you around and document this so that this can come back later and kick us in the butt when we didn't do it.
So part one, we're in the barn. And this actually may not happen by spring, but geese have been in here. But we want to do a little bit of renovating. We think we have a plan. I'm not going to go into it, but we want to replace some of the stall sides and probably fix a couple of the doors. Another thing we want to do is replace the windows. We've got
put windows in. There are no windows.
There isn't a window. There's a hole for a window, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. 10 of them. 10 of them to do. So we'll see. We'll probably just do that in little bits. Another goal is build a second mega hutch because we know we're going to need it.
Yeah, we want to get that done before our litters of bunnies are at weaning age. I mean, you can see these hutches work great for, this is a mom with her 3 babies. Definitely need to be weaned already, but, you know.
They're fine. But
they're getting along. It's a big space for them.
Yeah, we'll probably try to do this by end of March. I was going to say by end of March. So we're going to put a time frame on this one. So the next thing we want to try to accomplish is, you can see behind me, we've got what used to be our old goat barn, which is right here. We got it up. We didn't do anything with it. We'd like to do that, get it sorted. We still don't really have a plan, but we'd like to get it put back together. And then in the back there, you can see the one that's still up on its end.
That was upright last farm goals.
Yeah, it's still up right now.
So hopefully it's still going to be in decent shape when we not knock it down, but put it back on its proper way.
We've got a pretty good plan for it.
And this one here that's
going to become our little pig barn.
Annoying, floating in the middle of the farmyard.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I guess that's the other part. This will possibly spill over, but we'd like to get this back farmyard area fenced well enough that you can run animals up our channel.
Like right now you've got the coyotes come into the pit, which is kind of right over there. We'd like to get a fence going across there, and we're going to develop a little chicken area there with that chicken barn. That's also big priority because that needs to be up and running by the time chicks are born.
Well, or that may become our 5th coop. We have to sort out another coop. So again, we don't really know what we're doing, but
we have 5 groups of chickens and only 4 coops at this point. So for breeding purposes, we need to be able to separate. So we got to figure that out. But then we'll have the fence come across there, and then it'll just be that this whole farmyard will be coyote proofed, which is awesome because
and animal escape proof.
Yes, yeah. And as Chris was mentioning, we have to do a channel somehow to keep the animals, when we run them from the barn, keep them in the right general direction to head down to the pastures.
So on that note,
big priority.
Yes, we'll be figuring out this part of the channel fence, so the part that runs up the far side. And we're still on the fence as to whether we're insert bad pun here, but we're still on the fence as to whether we're kind of completely replacing that or working with what's there. We're not really sure. Now there are a few trees we have to cut out this winter. You can see like this one here, obviously, but we kind of want to leave some of it because it's quite nice to have the shade in the summer. So we got to figure that one out. And of course that goes back to where the little riding ring starts. But yeah, so that's on the list. It needs
to be lamb proof.
Yes, it's got to be lamb proof. So that's probably I don't know, April job. When we do our pig barn, which is going to sit pretty much here, we're going to do some tweaking to this fence. It needs some fixing all the way up the back. But we're thinking of probably trying to put another garden kind of in this area.
Yeah, basically last year
barn.
that was the horses' winter pen. Accumulated a lot of manure.
And we think the previous owners used it to...
it's very rich soil
Yeah.
that gets, what's that word when it gets really wet? It's just got so much organic matter.
in
It just becomes a sponge. So
we're going to try to get that far. That would have to be done by end of May, like finished, done, ready to plant by end of May, or else it will probably roll over to another year's project.
So we're standing kind of at the entrance, I guess, to our food forest. I mean, this has been in a few videos along the way, but the hope is to continue with development on this. This is a big project. There's a lot of space. Area. It's about 3.5 acres, and as you can see, there's a lot of natural vegetation that we have to kind of sort through and work with. But we've got the pond down there, so it's great for irrigation. So we've been kind of doing the, what do you call it? The hugelkultur. Is that right?
Yeah, we've got
two
sections down here.
We've been working on 2 nice big plots of that, which were a lot of brush that had been cut down previously. And we've now done a big manure layer on top. So it'll probably be squash or easy plants for this year. And hopefully we'll keep developing that. But fruit trees, we want to keep getting some more good vegetation like the elderberries, and we want to keep going with our Saskatoons. Hopefully our cherries make it through. We haven't disturbed them this winter, but...
and this is all stuff we'd like to do, whether we get that far or whether it happens. There'll be stuff happen.
Yeah,
but
we will continue to develop it. It's just a question of what pace.
Yeah.
Because this is a big project that is not on the highest priority compared to getting the animals set up and things like that this spring. Fingers crossed this will develop. We're going to thin some stuff out as we go, but it's a great source for feed for the animals, or the bunnies in particular, with all the willows and poplars and things. So we're just going to keep chugging along at this, and we'll keep you guys in the loop as we go.
One thing we're going to do, or keep doing, is sort of selectively taking out some of these Manitoba maples. That's something we will probably start on this winter. Probably next weekend.
Yeah.
Well, we are standing
at the back.
As you can see, there's some of the pastures behind us. This is going to be a big job. We have a lot of the material, maybe not enough to finish the complete 6-acre divided pasture, but we're going to hopefully put a pretty good dent in this.
Well, last season we finished pasture 1 and pasture 2 back here. And then we're going to keep going with pastures 4, and probably 3.
3, 4, and maybe 5 if we get to it.
Yeah, and hope that we have enough material to do 5, but we'll just see how it goes.
Yep. Hopefully by the end of the year we'll have it completely done by sort of...
And hopefully we'll have a drone to just show everybody from the air what it looks like.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm adamant about a drone.
Another sooner than later job is to come back and do some apple tree pruning.
And by no means are we going to get them all pruned. It's not doable. There's hundreds.
The goal for this winter is where we fence pasture 1 and pasture 2, anything sort of in those. Yeah. We're going to prune up, and
which shouldn't be too difficult because the sheep have really cleaned out around them. As you can see here, there's no other vegetation, so it'll be easy to get in and just kind of clean them up and prune them. And
yeah, we have a couple to cut down that the sheep killed, but just try to make these a bit more productive. So then we come to gardens. So we have a few plans. So one little plan. The shed back there has, we've been using it for chickens.
No longer.
No longer. We're going to flip that over, gut it, and turn it into a garden shed so we can store tillers and all of that sort of fun stuff. We've got to finish the fence around the back of the garden, just kind of...
right in front of the sheep there.
Yeah. So at least that's fully fenced. Then moving forward, we've got, I think it's 3 more raised beds we want to build. 1 more big L.
And then 2 4x8 beds.
Yeah, and then...
And also the raised bed that's going to go around the greenhouse.
Go around the greenhouse. The other thing we want to do is finish the greenhouse. We got
that's
pretty
much priority
close.
Because that's got to be done before the plants can come out. So.
That one will happen first. That'll probably happen...
As you can see, though, it's holding up great.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice in there. We've been collecting cardboard, as you can see.
Cardboard for our pathways and things.
So we'll get that done up, get the shelves in. Kind of, again, I would like to have that, the inside done and the wall sort of parts finished by end of April would be nice. And then kind of zooming around here. Can't really see anything, but down here by the driveway, we had started a bit of a garden plan, abandoned it, but we are now going back to a garden plan, and we're going to build some lower raised beds down there. So we have a bunch of garden ties, old ones that we're going to use, and we'll see where we get to.
Materials to try and kind of get some things done.
Yeah.
The blueberry beds have to be done.
Yes.
I know, if anybody's seen, we'll link our blueberry story above. But blueberries need to be done. They've now been 2 years in their black totes, so
and we're supposed to have a pretty large amount of raspberries come, so we'll see.
Yes, so we've got a lot of raised bed things to do.
Yeah, a lot of gardening around the house. And then this is still a little bit up in the air, but where the sheep are here, we're thinking of turning that into another pretty large garden. And then
it'd basically be 16 by 32.
Something like that.
Give or take a little bit, so.
And I guess on top of that, in this area, we do have to fix the fence that runs all the way down and along. So we'll figure that out too. That should go really quick.
Our list is getting really big as we're documenting this.
It is, but some of the jobs, as long as the equipment and weather cooperates with us, they'll actually go pretty quick. If the equipment and weather does not cooperate with us, we will be coming back to doing this in 2022. So on that note, we're going to go in because we have a couple of little goals to talk about in there. So another goal for the year, keep our grow room growing well. So we've got lots of space in here, as you can see already. But the plan is to do sort of weekly successional plantings of greens, probably now through end of May at least. We might keep going though if the temperature stays really nice in here and the greens grow well. We might keep going with it and save some space outside. But well, that's kind of our most of our goals. It's a lot of stuff.
And that's only the first part of the year.
Yeah, I see a lot of it
not happening and carrying over.
Well,
but
and we'll add to it.
Well, one of the things that we always say is we make a list with the basic gist that you're going to get 40% of that list done, and then you're going to cancel some of the stuff off the list, period, and a lot of it's going to carry forward. So,
and you're also going to add a bunch of new stuff.
And there'll always be more to add. So,
yeah, like our sheep barn. That wasn't planned, but it worked out really good.
Still a great achievement, though.
One thing, too, that I think we're going to say is a goal is since we've got so much setup left to do, we don't want to be adding a lot of new livestock. So we might buy a new pig or another sheep or something like that. Something we already have just to keep it going, but we're not adding anything
nothing new. As much as discussion happens.
Well, yeah, I think the two of us are pretty on board with that. But anyways, that's our goal list for the sort of late winter through to midsummer.
Yeah, we're kind of aiming. Most of it's before the end of June.
Yeah, hopefully.
Pretty much.
And we'll recalibrate and see where we get to at that point.